this first movement. And it's hot in here. I got my fan off. I want to hear followed by I just find it's more like earth, more soil in the ground than just hearing a lot of tops. This to me is kind of flimsy. But if I get more of my thumb, it's better, more earthy. I got to be careful that the eighths in my left hand are not staccato as well. Carrying on. Hang on, here, pick up to 9. I want to hear the 5 to 1 in my left hand. C to F, and then F, F to B flat. 5-1 motion anywhere in Bach, I find, is always a good place to bring out. Of course, that needs strong pinkies. There. It helps to release the arm a little bit. These in the left hand, I like to come out of the key completely, otherwise it sounds like soupy and noodly. Kind of wimpy, but very head bobbing, like shake your hair. You know? This is my left hand, one of my favorite left hand moments in this piece. And then the presence of that E flat in the end of 18, that half step from E flat to D. That's exciting. Like suddenly the music is supercharged. But the left hand. What is it? 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. The middle one to me, I like to pull back a little bit, and then when it goes up to the B flat, I like to give a little more juice there because that's implying the C7 chord, the 5 to 1, the 5-7 to 1. Yeah, and then these little, where'd they go? These 30-second notes. Really quick, energizing the tip of the finger. Gotta be sure I hear this, the high C, not just skim it or graze the note, but with a singing tone. Put some arm into it, put some back muscles into it. And then that C, D, I want to hear that. And then you notice the B natural in the right hand measure 28 has a tie. I like to hear it when it's exposed on the beginning of the second beat. What is it? I exaggerated it there for the sake of making a point, but a little of that, it's so delicious. And that sets us on our way. This theme here, and these dynamic markings are actually Bach's own. I'm trying to get a singing quality in my right hand, so I'm practicing like this, in a kind of romantic manner. And those trills, we get a lot of trills Practice them without the trill, just the note itself. So you can hear the main thing, the main notes, and then add the trill. And we want to hear in the left hand after it. And then the left hand in this part. The thumb, that tenor part, I got a heart there in my score. I love that, even though the right hand is so blatantly the melody. You know, I just love so I'm trying to hear that simultaneously. That brings us to C major at measure 42. These trills, this at 46. Again, practice it without the trill. And then slowly add it. It's a quick trill. I'm starting it on the note above, and what I found is that I have to play the tail of the trill, the F sharp to G, the end of it, much faster than I think. If I push the tempo in my mind for the tail of the trill, it fits, while still anchored in my ear to the left hand. There. And approach from above. Now that little sequence in the end of 42. I'm hearing the right hand to A, to B natural, to C, to G, with the left hand quarter notes. Everything else to me there is sort of secondary. Although this is nice. You know, there's no right or wrong way or no one way to do it. It's just like, sometimes it changes on the day too. Sometimes I'll be like, I like the top and just the quarters in the left hand, or other days I'll like the tenor in the middle. But you don't know until you take them all apart. And it's okay to change on a given day what you're doing with voicing. It's just, that's a sign of knowing what the parts are doing, I think. Page journey. That's so tricky there. The end of 64, the last beat. In the left hand, I'm doing 3, 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. I got a cross under. My score, it's an Urtext, Wiener Urtext edition here. But it does have some fingerings marked in by an editor. And I don't use them all because sometimes they create holes. But that's a tricky spot. And in that little sequence before, in 61, I'm listening for the sixth there. Which, when I add all the notes and play it slowly, highs in there too, which are delicious. It's those wide intervals. They're like popcorn. It's very playful and surprising. Here I did a short on this. I think I did. Yeah, where I'm listening for at 65. That's delicious in its own right. But to me, the earth, the engine under the bus, is the left hand. You got to be careful in general in this piece of false accents. In other words, having a bump or a crash on the ands of the beat. This kind of thing. Unless you're jazzing it up kind of thing, but which means in order to get it right, for me to get it right, what I think is right, because what's right for me is not necessarily right for everyone else. But for me to get it right, I have to feel it before I put my hand down. These are so much fun. Really sing those literally and also figuratively at the piano. I'm basically hearing the downbeat of the left hand. What is that, a diminished chord there in 73? And those are like the previous page. They come out of the key completely. Listening for... Sorry. And with each successive one, it gets a little bit more electric. My left hand needs to be more alert there at 75. My tempo is fluctuating a bit here. I'm not sure. That's something I need to work on in my next practice session. I'm just trying to iron out the things I want to hear and how I'm going to make them heard, how my body is physically going to do it, how I need to move. I do need to do some metronome work here because some spots are getting a little fast, I think. If this piece didn't have the other two movements, then maybe I might play it this fast, but I'm thinking with the third movement at the end, probably I want this to be a little slower, but who knows? I'm still working through that. We're in D minor here. More of those trills. Always approach your trills from above the key with a toss of the hand. And again, practice first without the trill. Notice the fifth in 92 becomes a sixth in 94, becomes a seventh in 96, and then even wider intervals there in the next two bars. Wide intervals in Bach, to me, are a great place to do some added depth into the key, some more richness of tone. These here, they're so tricky. It reminds me of that tune, Oh, Chichornia, oh, was in an old movie named My Man Godfrey. I remember that song came up. But in that spot, I find it helps stabilize my scary right hand trills if I anchor myself and my ear with the left hand. And then play hands together, but without the trill. And then again, as I said before, for the other trill, increase your speed at the tail of the trill, and then it should work out just right. It's a little fast. Enjoy that seventh there. G to A in 96. Hear the B flat, A, G, F, E flat, D in the right hand from 97 through to 101. And then the left hand, I'm hearing. It's really important to hear the first of each beat in your left hand, especially because the right hand is tied. Delicious left hand writing, I don't know what is. I'm trying to really be sure that it's clear, especially as I cross the bar line. So right here, in there, and then these right hands. Singing those. Oh, and as I play it some more, I'm reminded of the alto. I'm bumping the microphone, getting so excited here. Whew. Then there's two of these long trills in a row. The first one I feel as being more supercharged, I suppose because of what's come before it, that intense left hand bit. But then the second one on the C, to me, is a little bit more relaxed. The first one intense. For those trills, try not to get caught up in the trill itself and the fact that it's going to beat the band for 3 bars straight. Let it just, in a way, do whatever and focus your ear on the left hand. I did a short on this part too. And then we get more delicious left hand. I need more. I gotta work slowly on my left hand here. I'll do that on my next practice session. got to work on the back end of this movement, my fingering for this trill. If I use what's in the book, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, I'm up the creek without a paddle. I have to go 2, 3, 4, 3, and then trill, I guess, with 1, 3. And I want to hear those 6. Again, with these trills in 135, I'm focused on hearing the left hand. I got to work on it. It's boxy and stiff. Boxy, Bach. That's better. Another page turn. Lighter here. Again, I want to hear the left hand. Listening for the high C. Hearing those, all those wide leaps. This piece was laden with 6th from the trill. Ties in the left hand. I want to hear those. I'm driving this passage at 157 with my left hand. But with that overall lightness. And I'm listening for F, D, sorry, F, D, C, B natural, C, F, D, C, B natural, C. And then that 5-1 at the end of 160 into 161. At the end. It's a work in progress. Ooh, and it's hot in here. I turned my fan off because, you know, it's loud on the microphone. I don't want you to hear that. But I'm suffering as a result. Whew, maybe that's why I'm talking so fast. But I thought I'd try this new view from the left. It's more like my shorts videos. And I got my microphone here. And yeah, this is a work in progress. I am not near being able to perform the whole thing by any stretch of the imagination, so I'll keep working on these things, and more shorts to come, probably from this piece, which it's just been like the giving tree. It just keeps giving me oodles and oodles of video ideas, this Italian concerto. Bless its heart. It's been a good friend. Whew. But thanks for watching. As always, happy practicing to you. Whew. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you again soon for more performances and explorations of Bach's music. Take care. Bye-bye.